Hello and welcome to Unacademy. The UPSC has finally released its official notification for the Civil Services Examination 2026. While there are some changes for everyone, but for those who are already in service or those who will clear the CSE 2025, there are significant changes. And in this video, we will explain all the changes. We will explain the entire notification one by one, who is eligible, who is not eligible, what are the changes. So stay with me till the end. This is going to be your one-stop destination to understand the UPSC CSE 2026 notification. Let's get started. Let's first look at the online application portal. You have to fill this form online. And now this online application will have 4 cards or 4 modules. As soon as you create the account, which is the account creation, then following which a universal registration number will be generated, and then you will have to fill a common application form. And these 3 cards or these 3 modules will be common for every examination conducted by UPSC, not just civil services examination, any other examination. For example, Indian Statistical Examination, Indian Economic Service, all these examinations will have this commonality: account creation, universal registration number, common application form. But now that Civil Services Examination 2026 notification has been issued, then the 4th module will be examination specific, and you can fill it now. All this you will have to do online using this website upsconline.nic.in. Now let's look at this in great detail. Once you have registered on this online application portal, you would already know that a universal registration number will be generated. And again, this is common for all the examinations conducted by the UPSC. Then you will have to fill the exam specific form, let's say civil services examination, and you will get an application number. What you need to do, this URN and this application number, you have to retain it so that in future communication with the UPSC, you will have to cite the URN, you will have to cite the application number. But this universal registration number, it has to be registered only once in the lifetime. But what if you have already filled it? What are the options available with you? That's something that I'm going to tell you slightly later. But Unacademy management has directed me to share this information with you. Now that the exam notification is out, we have reduced our UPSC subscription fee by 50%. And along with that, we are giving you 6 months of free extension. Should you wish to prepare with us for the civil services examination, go to our website, check various subscription plans that we have for the candidates, and use this code IAS English, and automatically the lowest subscription fee will be assigned to you. So this was the information update that I wanted to share with you. Now let's look at the photo identity card. You have to give your identity proof. Now your identity proof can be EPIC, the elector's photo identity card. It can be PAN, but we will strongly advise you, and that is what UPSC is also doing, advising you to use Aadhaar as your identity proof. Because later I will tell you that face authentication has also now been implemented by the UPSC, because you would know what happened because of the Miss Pooja Khedkar fiasco. So use Aadhaar if you have. If you don't have, you will have to apply for Aadhaar. Use Aadhaar as your identity proof so that there is a seamless integration at the time of face authentication when you will appear in the civil services examination. Not just this. I told you, what if you have already updated your universal registration number and you wish to make any changes? Now, once in a lifetime opportunity is provided to you. One-time facility has been provided to you so that you can update or modify your universal registration number. But please note, This change will be reflected in the future examination forms which you will fill. Because if you have already filled examination forms of some other exams conducted by the UPSC, this change will not be reflected in those exams. So long story short, if you have to fill civil services examination form and you want to make certain changes to your universal registration number, do that first so that once you lock your URN, then you can fill the civil services examination form, and those changes which you will have made, which you have updated on the URN, will be reflected in the future examination applications. So do this change before and then fill the application form. Now, something substantial which the UPSC has done, you would need to upload your photo. But not just that. Previously, you just need to upload your photo. Now you also need to capture live photograph while filling this common application form. So as I told you, account creation, universal registration number generation, then common application form. And when you fill this common application form, you're required to upload your photograph as well as capture your live photograph. For that, you need to ensure that the webcam that you're using, the camera that you're using, is capturing the high definition images of yours, because these images have to be absolutely clear. Clear? Then something else, uploading of the signature. Now you will have to, on a blank sheet with black ink, what you need to do, you need to sign 3 times, one below the other. This is my signature, then another signature, then another signature. So all these 3 signatures, same to same, ditto, you need to also upload. You need to sign 3 times, and these should be clear and these should be legible. When you have to do that? When you are filling up the common application form. Now listen to me carefully. The candidates will not be allowed to withdraw their applications after you have submitted the same. Further, no correction, alteration, modification in any of the fields in the application form is allowed after submission. What does that mean? Does that mean when you fill your examination form, you cannot withdraw, which means that it will be counted as an attempt? No, it won't be counted as an attempt. What it basically means is in your first attempt itself, when you are filling the application form, when you are filling all the details of the application form, it has to be perfect, because later you can't change, you can't modify, you can't alter, you cannot withdraw the application and then apply again. That's something that you can't do. But even then, if you fill this application form and then you don't wish to attempt this examination, it won't be counted as an attempt. To summarize, notification came out today. The last date to apply is 24th of February at 6 p.m. That too only online, upsconline.nic.in. And when is the prelims? 24th May 2026. We urge you to fill this form at the earliest. Why? Because something important, something substantial has been mentioned in this notification. And what is that? I'll tell you slightly later. But if you face any issues while filling the application form, you are confused, you don't want to mess it up, you don't want to make changes to the URN without understanding the gravity of those changes, we are there to assist you, we are there to help you. The link is provided in the description of this video. There is a form which is provided in the description. Fill that form should you need any help with respect to filling this application form. Please let us know. We will guide you step by step, one by one, how to fill this application form without any errors, without any mistakes. Now listen to me carefully. I told you there's going to be face authentication for candidates at the examination venue. This is to ensure that there is no impersonation. This is to ensure that someone else is not appearing on your behalf. This is to ensure foolproof conduct of the examination. And for that, you have to reach the exam venue well ahead of time, because it might take some time to get this face authentication done for individual candidates. And for that, you need to visit the examination center well in time. Listen to me carefully. Once the prelims examination is conducted on the 24th of May 2026, as was announced by the UPSC previously, that UPSC will also share a provisional answer key. And if you have any issues with this provisional answer key, you have 5 days to submit your representation. But this representation cannot be sent via email or post, or you can't hand deliver this at the office of the UPSC. You will have to log in to the Commission's website, upsconline.nic.in, and then whatever reservations you have with respect to specific questions, you can flag them. But this opportunity will be available only to those who are appearing in this examination. So this opportunity will not be available to your teachers or someone else or your mentors. You have to make the representation to the UPSC that these are the issues with your answer key, and for 5 days you can submit. But 5 days from the third day of the examination, which means from the 26th of May, you will have to file this representation online on the UPSC website for the 5 days. After that, no representation will be accepted under any circumstance. Keep that in mind. Not just this, Pratibha Setu portal, previously it was the public disclosure scheme. Now those who clear the prelims, clear the mains, appear in the interview, but somehow they are not recommended. What happens to these individuals? Their details will be shared by UPSC with various private companies, those who have registered with the UPSC, that if you want, you can share their information with us so that we can recruit them, or various public sector undertakings or various statutory autonomous organizations. This is where there are various spelling mistakes in the UPSC notification as well. Candidate spelling is misspelled, statutory spelling is misspelled, but we can ignore that and focus on the crux of this notification. Long story short, you have to give consent to UPSC at the time of filling exam specific module, which means the fourth module, the fourth stage of this examination filling process. At that time, when you make this representation, you can give your consent to the UPSC that your details may be shared with public sector undertakings, registered private companies, autonomous statutory organizations. If you don't give this consent, your details will not be shared with your prospective employers. That's something that you have to keep in mind. So I would urge you, give your consent. But at the same time, what about the venue? The examination venue. I told you, we urge you to fill this examination form as early as possible, as quickly as possible. Why? Because there is a ceiling on the number of candidates who are allotted to each of the centers. If this ceiling is breached, that means for this particular center, 100 candidates are allowed, then this center will not appear in your options. There will be no ceiling for Chennai, Dispur, Kolkata and Nagpur. But for every other center, there is a ceiling. That is why if you want to get the center of your choice, you need to fill it as quickly as possible, because centers will be allotted on the basis of first apply, first allot. However, if you are from physically disabled or beneficiaries, then there is no ceiling available to you. You will get the center of your choice. But for those who are non-physically disabled candidates, they have to fill this form as quickly as possible to get the center of their choice. The age limit, there has been no change. And sometimes candidates often are confused as to whether we are eligible to apply for this examination or not. What you need to understand is, if you are a candidate who is born after 2nd of August 1994 and not after 1st of August 2005, you are eligible, which means you have to be minimum 21 years of age, maximum 32 years of age if you belong to the general category. How do you know that? The candidate must have been born not earlier than the 2nd of August and not later than 1st of August 2005. That means 2nd August included, 2nd August 1994 till 1st of August 2005. If you were born in this period, you are eligible as a general candidate to apply for the civil services examination. But there is an age relaxation. No change here, but I will still reiterate. Maximum of 5 years if you belong to SC or ST community. Maximum of 3 years if you are from OBC category. Clear? That is the age relaxation, and there is age relaxation for various other categories as well, ex-servicemen and others, but we don't go into that in great detail. We'll just focus on the caste level. Similarly, when it comes to number of attempts, for SCs and STs, there is unlimited number of attempts that you can use to crack this examination, provided you are within the age limit. So within the age limit, you can apply n number of times for this examination. But for OBCs, it is 9. For physically disabled, it is 9. For general category, for economically weaker sections of the society, OBC, but it is unlimited for SC and ST community. But within the age limit, unlimited number of times. After the prelims examination is over and the results have been declared, you have cracked the prelims examination. Then there is a 10-day window which will be provided to you. DAF 1 as we would call it. After the prelims results, you will have to reconfirm and update the data, pay the mains fee. If you don't log into the website, to the online portal, reconfirm, update your data, no mains card will be delivered to you, will be released for you. After you have qualified the mains exam as well, there is a 15-day window which will be provided to all those who are eligible to appear in the final stage, the personality test. What is to be done in this 15-day period? You will have to upload your qualifying degree proof. You may need to update your address or higher qualifications, achievements, employment, CSE service allocation, OBC, EWS, annexures, etc., etc. But if you don't apply online, fill these details, reconfirm these details online, then automatically your interview will be cancelled. You will not be called for the interview. But if you submit it in detail, it will generate e-summon letter, and now you can appear before the final stage, before the interview board. Now listen to me carefully. This UPSC notification, as I told you right at the start, although not great detailing changes have been made except in the way application form needs to be filled, but for those who have cleared the examination, who are already in the service, or who will crack the CSE 2025, there are significant changes. For example, if a candidate has been appointed to IAS or IFS based on the previous examination, and you are still an IAS officer or an IFS officer, you are ineligible to apply for CSE 2026. This was before as well, and now also you are ineligible to appear. But if a candidate is appointed to IAS or IFS after the preliminary examination, the results of 2026 is over, and now you're already part of IAS or IFS, then you will not be eligible to appear in the mains examination. This detailing has been provided. Now, if a candidate is appointed to IAS or IFS after the mains examination is over, after the commencement of the mains examination, but then you have been already appointed as the IAS officer or an IFS officer, you have appeared in the CSE 2026 mains examination as well, you will not be called for the interview. You will not be called for any interview, or you will not be considered eligible for any service or post based on the results of CSE 2026. Long story short, if you are already in IAS or IFS, you cannot appear in the examination. Now you are not in IAS or IFS, but you may be appointed later based on your previous examination. Now, even if you have qualified the prelims examination, you can't write the mains examination. Even after the mains, you have written the mains examination. Now you are appointed as IAS or IFS. You cannot appear before the interview. Something else. If you are allotted IPS, and this is where it becomes significant, or any central group A service, you may take one-time exemption, you may not join the foundational course or training, and you may appear in CSE 2027. CSE 2027. But if you neither join nor take exemption, your 2026 allocation is cancelled. If you are selected in 2027, you must choose between 26 or 27 allocation. The other is cancelled. You cannot appear in CSE 2028 onwards unless and until you resign from the allocated service. Those who are already part of IPS or any other central post, based on the results of CSE 2025 or 2024, you get one chance to appear in either CSE 2026 or 2027 without resigning. But for CSE 2028, you must resign and then attempt the exam. So we have seen instances of IPS officers already in the service, but then reappearing in the examination. You may be provided one-time exemption to either appear in CSE 2026 or 2027, but you should not join the foundational course. And later in 2028 onwards, if you want to appear in the examination, you cannot unless and until you resign and then attempt the exam again. Today, the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, it has answered a question in the Parliament, and basis that question, and we were already aware of this, there are some candidates who belong to states such as Arunachal, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland and Sikkim. They are exempted from appearing in the Indian language paper. So Indian language paper, English language paper, these are the two compulsory papers. But if you are a candidate hailing from the states of Arunachal, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland and Sikkim, you don't have to attempt the Indian language paper. It is not compulsory for you. And as the things stand today, there are going to be 933 odd vacancies for CSE 2026. This final number may change, but as of now, it is 933. These are the important details that are provided in the UPSC notification released today, and these are all that you need to know. But while filling the application form, you may encounter certain problems, and for that, our doors are open. The link is provided in the video description. Fill that form and we will assist you in filling this application form. And once you are done, go back and focus on the prelims examination. And for that, we are super excited and proud to announce the launch of Phase 2 and Phase 3 of Conquer Prelims 2026. This Phase 2 will start from tomorrow. From tomorrow, 6:30 p.m., I will be taking the classes and we will focus on Indian polity first. The detailed schedule will be uploaded tomorrow on our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching this video. Don't get worried about the notification. Don't watch the useless videos. Just fill the application form with all seriousness and correctly as well. For that, we will be able to help you should you need our help, and then go back to studies and together, let's crack it.